My name is Anya, and this story happened when I joined an evening English class at a community college near my home. I was 22 years old and working in a small tailor shop during the day. My dream was to speak English confidently so I could get a better job. On the first day of class, I walked in nervously and saw our new teacher, Mr. Arjun. He was around 30, calm, soft-spoken, and always dressed neatly. His voice had a warm tone that made difficult words sound easy. I sat in the second row, trying to take notes, but my eyes kept going back to him. I told myself it was only respect for a good teacher. I didn't know this would turn into one of the strongest feelings of my life. Every evening, Mr. Arjun wrote new vocabulary on the board with slow, careful strokes. He explained meanings with simple examples, and he never laughed at anyone's mistakes. I liked that about him the most. My English was weak, and I felt shy speaking in front of others. But whenever I tried, he waited patiently and encouraged me. Slowly, something changed in my heart. I started looking forward to class, not for English, but for him. When he smiled after I answered correctly, it felt like my whole day became brighter. I didn't understand whether this was admiration or something deeper. One day, I came to class early because it was raining outside and I didn't want to wait at the bus stop. The classroom was empty except for Mr. Arjun, who was arranging books. He looked up and said, "Anya, you're early today." I told him about the rain, and he laughed softly, saying, "Rain makes everything feel slower, doesn't it?" That small conversation stayed in my heart the whole night. For the first time, I noticed how kind his eyes were, how gentle his voice sounded when he spoke directly to me. I felt something warm growing inside me, something I didn't know how to name. As weeks passed, my classmates started teasing me because I always sat in the same front bench. "Teacher's favorite," one of them joked. I laughed with them, but inside I felt nervous. Were my feelings becoming obvious? I tried controlling them. I told myself, "He is your teacher. Stay focused on studies." But the heart is not easy to control. Whenever he praised my homework or corrected my pronunciation with a soft tone, I felt a strange mix of happiness and fear. I was happy because he noticed me. I was afraid because I knew the truth. I was falling in love. One evening, he gave us classwork to write a small paragraph about someone who inspires us. I wrote about my mother, but while writing, my mind kept drifting to him. After class, he read my work and said, "Anya, your writing is improving. I'm proud of you." The word proud hit me deeply. Nobody outside my family had ever told me that. I walked home with 100 thoughts. Why does his opinion matter so much to me? Why do I want to impress him? Why does his smile stay in my mind for hours? That night, I accepted it. I was in love with my teacher. But falling in love did not make my life easy. It made it confusing. I didn't want to disrespect him. I didn't want to break the trust of a teacher-student relationship. So I stayed quiet. I never flirted, never behaved wrongly. I only admired him silently, like someone admires the sunrise. Beautiful, but far away. Sometimes I wished I could tell him how his lessons changed my confidence. Sometimes I wished he could see how much I tried because of him. But I also feared that sharing my feelings would complicate everything. So I locked the truth inside my heart. One day, after class, I needed help with an important job application that required English. Everyone left, and I stayed back. I asked, "Sir, can you please explain the sentence?" He sat beside me, not very close, but close enough for my heartbeat to jump. He explained each line clearly, making sure I understood. When I thanked him, he said, "Anya, you have talent. You just need confidence." His words were simple, but to me, they felt like magic. For the first time, I felt like someone believed in my future. That moment made my feelings even stronger, but it also made me respect him even more. Soon, exams approached, and I studied harder than ever, not for marks, but because I didn't want to disappoint him. On the last day of class, all students took photos with him. When my turn came, I stood beside him, smiling. It was just a normal picture for him, but for me, it was a memory I would keep forever. After the exam, he announced that I had scored the highest marks in the class. Everyone clapped, and he said, "Well done, Anya, you earned this." I felt proud, but also sad, because this meant the course was ending. After the final class, I wanted to tell him what his guidance meant to me. Not my love, but my gratitude. I walked to him with a small thank you card. My hands were shaking. "Sir, thank you for everything. You helped me more than you know." He smiled kindly and said, "You did the work. I only guided you. Keep learning, Anya. You'll go far." That simple blessing felt more precious than any confession. I realized something important. Sometimes, love doesn't mean owning someone. Sometimes, love means growing because of them. Today, months later, I still think about him with respect and warmth. But I also know that my love for him changed me for the better. It made me work harder, speak English confidently, and believe in my own abilities. I don't know if he will ever know the truth about my feelings, and that is okay. Not every love story has to end with two people together. Some stories end with a stronger version of yourself. And that is my story. I was in love with my teacher, and that love helped me become who I am today. And that was my journey. A journey where I learned that love is not always about being together. Sometimes, love is about growing, improving, and becoming a better version of yourself. I was in love with my teacher, but that love helped me discover my own strength, my confidence, and my future. If you also have a story inside your heart, something you never told anyone, remember, it can still teach you something beautiful. Every feeling has a purpose. Every moment can help you grow. Thank you so much for watching this story. If you felt connected to it, or if it helped you learn English, please support my channel.